The topic for our presentation is foreclosures 2021. It has been a little bit over 8 months now since orders were put into place due to COVID 19. Everything workplace related was too hazardous to be in at the time, and people were being sent home. Catastrophic numbers worldwide started increasing for COVID 19 patients, and a sense of fear kicked in like a bulldozer. COVID 19 is still very well alive today, and with winter in place, the virus seems to be thriving its normal habitat. The following presentation presents an analytical review of the percentage of homeowners that are in a CARES Act program and the drastic result that may occur after their forbearance plan ends due to COVID 19. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a record of 7.9% of Americans are unemployed now. That is well over 12.6 million people that are currently depending on temporary income. Temporary income, as we all know, it is not enough to cover housing expenses and mortgage payments at the same time. The CARES Act program is giving homeowners temporary assistance from losing their homes and placing a temporary hold on their mortgage payments. In most cases, at the end of the forbearance plan, homeowners are required to pay a lump sum mortgage payments. And now, in most cases, at the end of the forbearance plan, homeowners are required to either apply for a loan modification, a deferment, or a partial claim. It just really depends on their lender. So let's see. So at this time, we have about 5.83% of FHA homeowners that are in forbearance due to the pandemic. Currently, about 3.6 million Americans are in the program due to COVID 19. And this percent was provided as of October compared to May when the pandemic was hitting the hardest. 8.7% of homeowners were in forbearance. Although this number is dropping by almost half, it is still a very high number. And a lot of this has to do with homeowners who are lacking unemployment, they're laid off, businesses have to close down, business owners cannot afford or support employees, quarantine orders, as you know, like if you have to go back to work, then it's impossible to stay at work if somebody gets COVID. HR policies, hours have been cut, excessive obligation household, homeowners cannot afford their mortgage payments, and they cannot afford paying bills all at once with gross wages. Okay, so let's see. So the CARES Act program, the the CARES Act program benefits homeowners, but sometimes it may not be enough for the homeowner. With the pandemic, the government knew that it needed to provide some type of aid for the country before it collapses. So the CARES Act program stands for Coronavirus Aid Relief Economic Security Act. This act provides deferrals, forbearances, plans, partial claims, modifications, allowing the homeowner to adjust while in forbearance. Many homeowners have lost their jobs. So lenders basically, like while you're basically the CARES Act program, like while you're in it, the lender cannot foreclose on your house. But most lenders are giving homeowners up to 12 months total of forbearance. So what that means is that March coming about next year in 2021, there's a high possibility that we're going to see a high number of foreclosed homes because homeowners aren't prepared to go back to making their mortgage payments. A lot of homeowners aren't making the same mortgage payments. Some homeowners are trying to refinance their house to take or pull equity out of their house to try to flip their home, selling it. So it's really scary, especially like if the president doesn't come up with new plans or extends the forbearance plans an additional 12 months, because we're pretty much still living in COVID-19. There's still, um, schools aren't the same, daycare is not the same, working moms, working parents, everyone is just kind of like, we're just waiting for this pandemic to end, but we're still riding the wave. Um, so we're not sure what's going to happen next year, but there's a high possibility that we may see a lot of houses foreclosed. It is the per this graph, it says here that 200 foreclosed homes are predicted in 2021 just in Texas alone. And right now, 5.83% of FHA homeowners are still in forbearance because of the pandemic. Okay. So, in conclusion, foreclosures are decreasing this year, but more are affected in 2021. The federal government should extend the program under the CARES Act, which mandates forbearance and other options to help consumers. The financial instability brought by COVID-19 pandemic is largely not the fault of the average American citizen, but as a result of an attempt to slow the spread of the virus and prevent deaths. Um, Thank you so much for your time.